Hi, I'm Terry Davis. In my last video, I demonstrated how you could map the full chromatic scale to your fretboard. In this video, I want to show you how you can use that knowledge to widen your view of the fretboard and help you become more creative and more expressive on the instrument. And that's one of my main goals for this channel. Speaking of which, please take a second to subscribe, as that helps me build this channel. Once all the notes are revealed on the chromatic scale, you can see some useful patterns emerge. But I understand not many people want to stare at a fretboard chart and study all the notes. So in this video, I want to cover some helpful patterns that will give you insight as to where you are on the fretboard. The more you play with these patterns, the more it'll come together for you. The first one we're going to talk about is octaves. So when we talk about octaves, just think of it as the same note in just a lower or higher pitch. So for instance, if I start here on A and I go up and do the major scale from A. So that last note, I went up, I did 7 notes, which is the 7 notes of the diatonic scale. And I'll go up one more, and there's your octave. So that's our first shape that we'll cover. So for the whole video, I really don't want to focus on what notes we're hitting, but I want to focus on the patterns to show you the different octave shapes. So that's the first one we'll cover. You can move that up the fretboard. Then we get all the way down to this one. We'll play this. It's almost like we had our finger over here past the nut. All right, so that's basically I'm on the low E string hitting a note, and then I'm 2 frets higher on the 4th string, I'm hitting a note. So that's your octave. Then you can do the same thing on the 5th and 3rd strings. Those are octaves. We can hit a note on the 4th string and then go down 2 frets on the 1st string, and you have an octave. All right, and so that leads us to the next one, which is back where we started, the low E string and the high E string. I'm using my thumb here, but you can also, an easy way to do it is use your ring finger on the high E string and then your middle finger on the low E string. There's another one here at the 4th string, and then 3 frets up from there on the B string. All right, and then the next one we can do, we can focus on up here on the 12th fret where we have the double dots on your guitar. That's an octave, so we'll have. Those are octaves. So that means that this note is the same as this note. This note is the same as this note. This note, same as this note. So forth. And so basically when we hit that 12th fret, we can start over. So this note is the same. So those are octaves. Oh, here's one. So you have the open E string, and then right below it on the 7th fret is the same note as an octave. Changes a little bit going up. On the B string, I'm going to go up 1. And then the high E string, you can be on the 7th fret again. Another one is we can hold a note on the 5th string and then go down 2 frets onto the B string, the 2nd string, and that's an octave. Another one we can do is just like if you were to be tuning your guitar. So you'd hold down the 5th fret of the low E string, and you just play the next string, which is the A string. So that's the same note. Then you just drop down to the next string, hold down the 5th fret of the 5th string, and strum the next string down, which is D, the 4th string. That's the same note. Then we'll do it again. We'll drop down to the D string, hold down the 5th fret, and strum the open G string. That's a G note. And then we'll drop down. On this one, we're going to drop down on the G string, the 4th fret, the G string, and strum the open B string. That's a B note. Alright, and then the last one we'll drop down and hold the 5th fret of the B string and the open E string. Okay, so a good way to practice this is to just pick a note and practice the different octaves all throughout the fretboard. Okay, the next one is major and minor thirds. So I want to start on the low string here. And if I play 1 fret down on the next highest string, I'm playing the major third. That's the basis for a major chord. And you can do the same on the next one, the next string up, the A string. Here I'm on the 5th string, 5th fret, and the 4th string, 4th fret. And then you can do the same thing on the 4th string and 3rd string. As we covered before, do the octave there. Then if we want to start on the 3rd string to start the major third, we would just go 1 string up, same fret. And then if we want to do the start on the B string, the 2nd string, we'll do just like we did up here. We'll do the 1 fret below it on the next string. So that's your major thirds. Then if we want to do a minor third, all we have to do is drop our third down 1 half step, so it'll look like this. So all I'm doing, I have a full whole step difference, one string down. Then I can do the same thing as I move up to the 5th and 4th string. So that's a minor third interval that I'm doing. Same thing if I wanted to start on the 4th string. Then if I wanted to do a minor third starting on the third string, I would then need to just come down one fret on my B string. And then if I wanted to start on the B string, the second string, I'll do just like we did up here. I'll fret the note on the B string, then I'll go a whole step down on the first string. There's your minor third. The next shape is fifths, so I'll start on the low E string, and then I'll just go up 2 half steps and play the fifth string. It's also known as a power chord, so I'm playing the 1 of the 5 of the diatonic scale, the major scale. So that's the power chord. And then you can do the same thing, starting on the 5th fret and playing the 5th and the 4th string with that same shape, just a whole step up. Again, on the 4th and 3rd strings, same shape. Then if you wanted to play a power chord with the 3rd string and the 2nd string, you would play the 3rd string, play a note on the 3rd string, and then go up 3 frets on the 2nd string. It's power chord for the 3rd and 2nd string. And then if you wanted to do the power chord on the 2nd and the 1st string, you would do it just like you did it up here, where you go just two frets up. Okay, the next interesting one is the relative minor. So if we start on, let's say A on the low E string, we start right here on the 5th fret. So we have our major scale right there. We play our major scale from there. And then if we go down 3 half steps, which is from right here down to here, that puts us in our relative minor. So that's also, if you're familiar with the pentatonic box, that's where the pentatonic box is, right here. So if you wanted to play in minor, you could play this pentatonic box using the chord that's associated with this note, which is F sharp minor. Or if you wanted to make it sound major, you can just play that same scale over where you started, which was A major. So you can think about major and then the relative minor is just 3 half steps down. The final benefit I'd like to touch on in this video regarding the chromatic scale is transposing songs. To give this a little more clarity, let's revisit the chromatic scale. In my last video, we talked about sharps. Something I didn't cover in that video I'd like to cover now is that each sharp is also a flat. If a note has a flat, it simply means that the note 1 half step down or 1 fret down is that note with the word flat following it, and it is denoted as this on the screen. So for instance, F sharp is the same as G flat. So let's say you're playing in a band and you want to utilize your vocalist's full range. Let's say they're having a hard time hitting a high note, and so you decide to just bring a song you're playing in A, you want to bring it down to A flat. So what you do is you would just take the chord progression that you're doing. Let's say it's 1, 5, 4 in A. All you have to do, you just want to bring it down 1/2 step. So you'll just come down 1/2 step to A flat. So your scale in your chord progression, everything moves down 1/2 step. Or let's say you wanted to just bring it on down to G. You do the same thing. So that's basically transposing a song. Hey, I hope that helped you widen your field of view as you interact with the instrument. Let me know how it's going on your guitar journey. And as always, thanks for watching. Hey, if you enjoyed that content, please subscribe and check out one of these fine videos.